Today we're going to talk about something that may be a little controversial, which is how to avoid problem clients. I don't think any of us want to work with a client who doesn't value our process or our expertise, or who is just a general pain in the ass and doesn't respect our boundaries. But how do you get to the point where the majority of your clients, or all of your clients, are those like dream perfect fit clients? Well, in this video, I'm going to share the 2 major steps that you need to take to make that a reality. My name is Kay Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist, and I help entrepreneurs change the world and scale their business with what they know. You have some brilliance up in that brain of yours, and I want to help you get it out. And if there's anything that's going to squelch that brilliance or cause you to not share the genius that you have, it's like the soul-sucking problem clients. So let's figure out how not to work with them. If you've ever been stumped or frustrated with an ideal client exercise in the past, it's because if it's not based in reality, it feels like you're guessing. The best way to think about this is to remember when, or maybe you are still in this stage, you were dating, you were looking for the love of your life, and you sat down and you even wrote out a list of the perfect attributes that this partner would have. Creating your ideal client avatar before you've worked with a lot of clients is the exact same process. You're making guesses about what you think this person might be, who would value your work, who would recognize your talents, you would jive well personality-wise, and it would be happily ever after. Now, when you actually get out into the dating world, or in this case, actually working with real live human clients, we probably are going to find that most of our clients, at least in the beginning, don't fit every single one of those attributes. Maybe it's not even a reality. Maybe they don't exist in one person. But you get a lot more valuable data when you're actually working with clients. So think about it as an elimination process. As you work with more and more clients, I think it's actually really important to work with a variety of different types of clients in the beginning. So you can learn for yourself, you can experience firsthand what kind of ideal client you want to ultimately work with. I'm trying not to get too cheesy with the dating metaphor here, but it works so well, right? Like sometimes you have to date a lot of different types of people to see who you're ultimately going to have the best chemistry with and the best long-term relationship with. So step 1 in this process is to start off with that wish list. You have to make some assumptions about what type of person you think is going to best work for your business. There's no real way of knowing if that person actually exists in that exact form, or if you're even going to enjoy working with them once you actually do find that person. But start by making some assumptions so that you can compare your actual clients back to that ideal client list and refine it over time. And once you know who you're looking for, step 2 is to decide who you don't want to work with. Sometimes it just takes learning this the hard way, like having a really pain in the butt client that grates you the wrong way and you just don't work well together. And the key is to make sure that you're refining this process and refining this list, essentially, of who you ultimately want to work with so that you can look out for more of those people to avoid them in the future. So let's do an exercise here for this step. Start to define the specifics about this person that you don't want to work with. What stage in their business are they in? What do they believe that isn't congruent with your beliefs? What type of involvement do they demand from you as a product or service provider? Who doesn't value or have the ability to pay what you need them to for your product or service? And who are people that would violate those non-negotiables of yours that you couldn't ever work with because it's going against a core value or belief that you hold? For me, when I'm interviewing somebody as a possible client for the Clarity Code process, where I help more advanced entrepreneurs scale their brand, these are some of the red flags that I look for. If somebody doesn't have any evidence of results, I don't want to work with them. You can't steer a parked car, and I do my best work when I'm maximizing what's already good about a person or about a company. So I'm looking for somebody who can already prove that they have a foundation, they've developed enough experience that now they are using that experience to reach and impact more people. I also don't like working with people who aren't invested in their brand. So like some people are serial entrepreneurs and they're starting a whole portfolio of businesses all at once. So they're not particularly tied to one or the other. It's almost like they're gambling. I would much rather work with an entrepreneur who is all in with their business. This isn't to say that they can't be multi-passionate, but I want to work with somebody who is going to see it through and who's going to actually do the work that it takes to make a brand a success. I also don't work with clients who only want design. To me, talented designers are so important, but you have to do some steps first to maximize the results that you're going to get from those designers. So if somebody wants to skip to the end, just skip to the pretty stuff, they are not the clients for me. I also don't want to work with anybody who isn't willing to delegate. So if somebody is holding on to their brand with like a death grip and they won't let anybody help them, either because it's a mindset thing, they think they can't afford a team, or they're just not willing to delegate, my process isn't going to be best suited for them either. My process is set up to help people delegate pieces of their brand effectively. So it doesn't make sense for me to work with a client who isn't willing to do that. So hopefully this sparks some ideas for your own brand on your red flags list to create. Okay, so step 3 of this process is to be unapologetic about what you discover in terms of those red flags. And ways that you can do that is to share your beliefs publicly. So share what you believe that you know might turn away some of those people in your blog posts, in your emails, on social media, wherever you're talking to people. Be unapologetic about who you help and why you help them. Another way to disqualify or to avoid working with problem clients is to create a signature framework that is custom built for your ideal client. So once you figure out exactly who that is, instead of just offering something like social media marketing, you could create the social maverick framework, for example, just making this up off the top of my head. But you create a step-by-step process that you offer, that only you offer, that's a natural fit for your ideal client. It's going to naturally repel the people who don't fit that avatar, that person that you're trying to attract. My Clarity Code process does this elegantly, because for people who are just getting started, who have no evidence of success, who don't have a team, we don't cover things that are relevant to them in that program. I have other products or services for people in the more beginning stages of their business, but for Clarity Code specifically, it's built from the ground up to serve that ideal client. Also, practice telling people, like your friends, your network, your family, who it is specifically that you want to work with. So instead of just saying, oh, I help businesses create websites, that's not going to give referral partners a very clear understanding of who you can help. But if you said something like, I help personal brand influencers build their websites and social media platforms, somebody might have, I don't know, a cousin that has 1 million followers on Instagram or whatever, and they're going to have a much clearer picture of who to send to you and who not to send to you as possible referrals. And then another way to navigate this situation when you're getting started is to know that you might not always work with a perfect client, but you have a choice over what you show in your portfolio or on your website in terms of images or case studies or examples or testimonials, and make sure that you're only showing the ones that actually do fit in with your ideal client. All right, till next time.